Hey there, gorgeous, and a very happy drugstore December to you. If you've not heard, every video coming out for this entire month has a drugstore theme to it, and I'm publishing videos on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. God willing, maybe Thursdays. So if you'd like to be notified of new content this month, please subscribe so you get all of the updates. Today's video was really fun to put together, and I had so much joy trying out all of the tips and the techniques that you recommended to me. I asked recently on Instagram and then in another YouTube video for you to share some of your best makeup tips. And so I tried them out, and I'll be sharing those here with you today. I tried to do as many as I possibly could. If you didn't get mentioned in this, I apologize. There's just so many, but a lot of them were really excellent ones I had never heard of before, and I think that you're going to really love them too. And if I pronounce anyone's name wrong, please forgive me in advance. Oh, hi. Hi. It appears a little furry white person has snuck into the studio with me here today. First tip I have to share with you comes from Manshanana. She says to apply a setting spray on a clean brush. Apply that to your lids first, and then dip your finger into your shimmery eyeshadow and apply that directly over the top. Usually, I will load up the brush with the eyeshadow, spritz it with the setting spray, and then apply it like that. But there comes a problem there where you have to add in another brush because you don't want to dip a wet brush back into your eyeshadow. So I really love this tip because you're not doing that, and the effects are really intense by doing it this way. And I really, really love this tip. So thank you so much for that. It's my new way that I have started doing my eyeshadow. I did it today actually for this look, and it's wonderful. How are you? Are you wanting to be, you just never ever come up on camera ever. Hi. Yeah, maybe I can lift him up a little bit here. There he is. There's my boy. There's my big boy. Yeah. Hi. He doesn't like to be held too much. He just wants to sit in my lap. Okay. You're getting a little big for my lap there, bud. Now, this next tip came from two of you at the same time. I thought, well, if two people are saying it, then it's got to be really awesome. And this tip, so I'll name the two people who mentioned this tip. It was Ray Banushi and then Penny Ann. And they said to apply setting spray after every single step in your face routine and let it dry fully after every single step. So when you're applying your moisturizer, apply setting spray over the top, let it dry. Then apply your foundation, apply setting spray, let it dry. Then apply your powder, apply setting spray, let it dry, blush, contour, etc. So after every single makeup application, setting spray, let it dry. And this will help your makeup to last longer. And it absolutely does. I tried this out recently, and this is what my face looked like at the end of 10 hours. Now, I do have a little bit of dewiness, but in terms of intact, all the makeup on my face is intact. I didn't have any rubbing away. I didn't have any splotchiness, no like weird rough patches or anything like that that broke through. Everything looked gorgeous on my face. So I really, really did enjoy this tip. It is a little time consuming to do, and it would probably be something that I would save for like a special event or an occasion, that type of thing, but absolutely is a great tip. The next tip that I have to share with you, you are so loving today, comes from 9 Herbies Wax. And she said to do highlighter before blush. So I tried that out, and it does look really beautiful when you apply the highlighter underneath the blush because it turns the blush into a more luminous blush. And this is one that I really loved pairing up with a powder blush. So I applied a shimmery highlighter on my cheekbone first and then applied a more matte blush over the top. And the shimmer of the highlighter was enough to where it broke through that matte blush, and it still had a really beautiful finish on the skin. And if you're curious about which one I used in the example there, it was the one from ColourPop in the shade Wisp. I love these. They are very vibrant. And I feel like that's a really good tip too if you have a really vibrant highlighter. Let's say you have one like the Fenty ones that are just, whew. You can apply those underneath blush and it'll help tone them down a little bit and make them a little bit more wearable, I feel like. The other tip I wanted to share with you comes from D. Madison, and she says to line the eyes with a felt tip liner first and then apply your wing eyeliner with eyeshadow. So she does the length of the eyes with a black felt tip eyeliner and then uses black eyeshadow on the wing. And this does create a really soft look, but it adds a bit more precision to your look also. And I really love this because it gives a very sultry aura to it. And I also took a little bit of the black eyeshadow and I used it on the outer half of the upper lash line to give it a more smoky effect, and I kept it more precise and sharp on the inner corner with the felt tip liquid liner, and it looked really stunning, and it held up really well too all day long. So thank you so much for that tip. That was amazing. Let's see who else here. We have Anya the Great. She said to apply blush where you usually apply highlighter and sweep it up over the temple, and this will give your face a lifted look. Now this is the one that I'm probably going to feature in the thumbnail. I haven't really decided yet, but it really does work and it looks beautiful. So instead of using contour, try using your blush in this way. It really does make your face look lifted, and it's a different placement as the traditional, you know, on the tops of the cheeks or wherever you place your blush. I like taking it up into the temples a little bit better. Hi. These next two tips are ones that I did not personally try out, only because I don't have any glitter glue on hand. Mine went bad recently and I literally a month ago threw it out. So I didn't have any to try out these two tips with, but the two women who recommended them swear by them, so I wanted to mention them to you in the event that they could help someone who may be watching this video. From Rhonda Powell, she said to apply glitter glue under the eye, then apply concealer over the top, and then set it with powder. And she mentioned that she has a birthmark underneath her eye, and that's really helped her to be able to conceal it and keep the concealer intact all day long. So for anybody who may struggle with that same issue, or perhaps you have dark under eye circles, or you just want everything to stay intact, give it a try. I mean, it's worth checking out. And glitter glue is pretty much like primer in a sense. It does hold everything on your skin. So I have no doubts that that could be a really great tip to try. The other one comes from Laura Osha. I think that's how you say your last name. If not, my apologies. And she said to use glitter glue to hold the brow hairs in place. So in the event that you have wild brow hairs, I mean, who knows? You may got some Brooke Shields going on and you want to keep them in place, try glitter glue. I mean, glitter glue is some pretty fantastic stuff. From Karen Pruden, she says to roll mascara in your hands before applying to avoid that thick and gloppy texture that happens when you take the wand out of the mascara. So I know you've heard this several times where you're not supposed to take the wand of your mascara and pump it because it puts air in here, and it's not good for the long-term use of your mascara. So I really enjoyed hearing this tip and I tried it out and it does work. This next tip comes from Irma Nieto. Nieto? Again, my apologies. She said to take the NYX brow glue and apply this on your lashes and then apply mascara over the top. And this is supposed to give you a false eyelash effect. I tried it and for me, it didn't really work. I don't know if I didn't do it right, but if you could give me more insight on this in the comments below, Irma, let me know what I did wrong. I applied the brow glue first, and then I let that dry for a little bit, and then I applied my mascara. And it did make my lashes look thicker, but it weighed them down, and I wanted them to be a little more curled. So yeah, if you have more insight on that, feel free to share because I would love to try that tip again. But another tip that did work really well for me the first time I tried it comes from Christina. And that was using the back of her hand to curl her lashes after applying her mascara. Now I thought this was really weird, but it really, really does. So as you're waiting on your mascara to dry, use the back of your hand and keep pushing against your lashes, kind of like holding them up while they're drying, and it curls them extremely well. And the curl holds. It holds all day long after having done this. Now, granted, you're going to get some stuff on the back of your hand. You got to pay a price somewhere. I mean, you know. So thank you for that tip. That was such a simple, easy, but really effective tip. The other tip I wanted to share with you comes from TS. She said to mix cornstarch with translucent powder And this will make it less cakey, it'll last longer, and it looks much smoother on the skin. It gives you a filter-like appearance. I added a little bit of cornstarch into my Coty Airspun translucent powder, and I could not believe how filterized my skin looked. It looked airbrushed. And it was a lot smoother, by the way. I mean, the Coty Airspun translucent powder is smooth on application, but this addition almost made it more finely milled. You could just feel a difference in the texture of the powder after having applied it to the skin. So excellent tip. Thank you for sharing that one. Usually when we want to intensify an eyeshadow, we will spritz it with setting spray like I talked about in the beginning. But this next tip comes from 10 Electra, and she says instead of using setting spray, use eye drops. And if your eyes are more sensitive, especially to either a scent that may be in the setting spray or the setting spray itself, that can really help to reduce some of the irritation. So I wanted to share that with you in the event that someone watching this has more sensitive eyes and maybe setting spray has disturbed you in the past with the application. Try eye drops. The way that I would do it would be to pack a brush with eyeshadow first and then take a couple of the drops and put them on the brush and then apply it like that. Crystal Gilbert, you had a really amazing tip I had never heard before, and I'm definitely going to be doing this one more often, especially in the summer months. She said to mix a tiny bit of a high coverage concealer in with sunscreen and apply it on your face. So like we would do with moisturizer and concealer to create like a custom BB cream type mixture. Sunscreen! What a great way to do it! And you're getting that protection on your face with a little bit of coverage. You don't have to bother with foundation. I love this tip. This last tip is one that I personally can really use, and it does work, and I wanted to share it with all of my makeup enthusiasts here who love to swatch lipsticks, because what a pain in the butt it is to remove lipstick swatches off of your hands, your arms, your legs. Am I right? But this tip comes from Carol Ding, and she says use lip balm to remove swatches of lipsticks. Particularly, she mentioned like a Vaseline lip mask that she uses to remove the lipstick from her skin. And I don't have anything like Vaseline on hand, but I have something similar in the Burt's Bees multi-purpose ointment that I typically use for diaper rashes, dry skin, that type of thing. We use that for like everything around the house here. So I tried that out to see if it would work, and it absolutely does. It took the lipstick right off. So I'm sitting here thinking, why didn't I use that sooner? I do want to say very special thank you to all of you who submitted your tips. Even if they didn't get mentioned in this video, we should do a part 2. So if you have a tip that you feel like everyone should know about, feel free to share it below, and I'll see if we can make a part 2, because there are so many. I still have to go back and do a list of other ones because I have them in my phone of screen captures I took from Instagram. Amazing, amazing. I love how knowledgeable all of you are and how much I learned from you. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your expertise, and I look forward to doing another video like this in the future. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite tip was in today's video. And again, if you want to share your own unique tip, feel free to do that below as well. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to watch, and look forward to seeing you again next time for another video in Drugstore December.